Alright, welcome back to the shooting video with your Pentax camera series. This time we're going to be taking a look at the built-in filters that are in Pentax cameras. So to start things off, I'm going to start with no filter. And once we have done the no filter, then we will go to extract color. And I chose green for the primary color and maximum range, so it'll only show greens, and then I switched to red for the secondary color, so it should only show greens and reds. And I threw everything to maximum range just so it's not a subtle difference, so it's easier to identify the changes that are made. And then we switch over to toy camera, again maximum shading, maximum tone, and then we move over to retro, and with retro I have maximized the color reference for that. There we go, for reds. And then we move over to high contrast, and in high contrast, again maximum. So I just really want to showcase how much of a difference these all make. Shading, I'm indoors right now, so this isn't going to be the greatest. Just showing you the menu options here, and then invert colors either on or off. And then you've got your unicolor bold and your bold monochrome settings. Again, for unicolor, I selected green just because there were some trees, and bold monochrome I have at maximum. So those are the parameters that I used, and let's see what they all look like. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind, that when you are utilizing the filters within the Pentax series cameras for shooting video, think of it as the same thing as shooting JPEG with stills. The camera does all the processing and you're stuck with whatever you've shot, however you've shot it. So the filters apply. There's no going back to, say, a default parameter or anything like that. It is what it is, right? It's not the same as using a lookup table in video processing or editing after the fact, where you have the original flat footage. Hopefully you're shooting flat or standard or normal, so you don't have the original non-touched footage, right, that you can fall back on if you don't like the way the filtered look appears, right? So do keep that in mind. You really do have to put some thought into what it is within your story that you're trying to convey, right? I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of shows and movies where there's like a flashback memory kind of thing, and then all of a sudden they make it like super bold monochrome look, or that dreamy reddish hue tone kind of thing. You can achieve all that, but you really need to figure out what part of the story it is that you want to show that element in, because if you're going to use the filters, as I said, you're stuck with that, period. There's no going back. So the footage is what the footage is, right? So keep that in mind. Also, another thing, not all Pentax cameras have the same filters. There are some cameras that have filters that newer generation cameras do not have. Make that make sense. So for example, the Pentax K3 Mark III does not have all of the same filters that the Pentax K3 or K3 II do have. So the K3 and the K3 Mark III and K3 II and K3 III do have different filters. The K3 III also has additional options within some of the same existing filters that are on the Pentax K3/K3 II. So there are some differences. So this video series is more of a reference because depending on what camera you have, you may or may not have the same filters. So there you have it. Filters while shooting video on your Pentax camera. I know a lot of us, for the stills photography part of things, we shoot RAW, DNG, or some of you shoot PEF. Either way, we shoot RAW. So the filters themselves, we don't really use them, right? But for video, yeah, the filters are actually pretty cool. They can really help you elevate your storytelling in regards to shooting video. I know the footage that I showed was pretty bland, so to speak, but again, this video is specifically about how the look will change and what the filters do to your video footage, right? So there you have it. If you like the video, leave a like. If you have not already, please do subscribe. Always helps out. If you have any topics you'd like me to go over, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, leave those down there below too. And I will see you on my next video. I'm out.